Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thank you for tuning in tonight with us. We got a great show planned. We're going to have a lot of fun talking with you guys, talking Star Wars with all you guys. So let's jump into the rundown. All right. Tonight, we got Question of the Week, as always. Then we have some Holonet news. Some spicy things be happening in the world of Star Wars. And then we're going to end it with the road to Andor. Because there's more. There's more that's come out. Tony Gilroy had, what would you say, almost an expose when it comes to Andor Season 2 with a cast there. But we're pumped to get into it with you guys. I have with me some great people with us. Great people. The one, the only, Dan the pilot. What's up, Dan?
How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here, flying the ship this night. We're at Studio Apple.
We're at whoa, fancy.
A for Apple. A for Ahsoka.
A for Ahsoka.
Oh, no.
No.
Dan.
It's A for Andor.
Yeah, it's A for
Thank
what?
you.
I can't believe you even brought that up. Was that just a thing for Biz?
It was a thing.
It was
a
an
thing.
olive branch.
I was going down the Star Wars alphabet in alphabetical order. Andor would actually come first, so I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm here, whether you like it or not.
Next up is the one, the only, the fact checker. What's up, fact checker? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Loving the new look.
Yeah, thanks. Me too. That was done
Yeah.
by Hannah, our moderator on Target.
Moderator.
She is always killing it. Be
Definitely.
kind to the moderators, as always.
Yes.
Or they will kill it.
Or they will kill.
Well, you
Whoa.
said it. They're always killing it.
They are always killing it. Speaking of killing it, let's get into things. I don't know. let's act like Andor and shoot first and ask questions later.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into Question of the Week. But before we do, don't forget to always like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us so we can continue to grow this wonderful community together. Because with all of us together, we make Star Wars.
Beautiful butter.
Beautiful butter. It's so true. So much. We really need like a butter commercial. And it's like
Yes.
stay on Target logo on it.
Fresh
Rich,
creamery butter.
Creamy
creamery butter.
If you know that movie reference, you get a Wookiee cookie in the comment section.
Definitely.
And I know we have lots of people in the chat with us tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love all you gonkers out there and all you community members and members in general. As a reminder, we are doing a live after stream after this where we are watching. If you're not getting enough Andor and you're not ready or not ready for Andor Season 2, we're watching what episodes are we watching tonight? Just lost
4 and
it.
5.
4 and 5. All right, thank you.
In Spanish, that's cuatro and cinco.
Cuatro y cinco.
Cuatro y cinco.
Well, I prefer the word Andor. Cuatro Andor cinco.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So we're going to be watching that later. So if you're not a member, definitely become a member. We have a lot of fun. We've been having a blast watching those with everybody.
Actually, it's been
the commentary's been awesome.
It's been quite refreshing.
Yeah.
And we're proud of our commentary. But the show is like kind of better the second time through, in my opinion. What do you think, Dustin?
Yeah, I'm of two minds in some ways. It's better, but then I also see, to some people's point, I have noticed a few things that I could understand why people didn't enjoy it, but really overall, I'm having just as much of a great time, and it's getting me more excited for Season 2. So there's really not much, but I'd say it's about the same as when I watched it the first time. So, yeah, it's a good time. And Gonkers, let us know. Have you guys seen Andor Season 1? If you have, what's your rating on Andor Season 1? We want to hear from you guys. And if you guys are doing the watch-alongs with us, we want to hear from you guys there because we have some fun commentary with all the members. It's been a blast. So definitely sign up now. It's less than a candy bar a month. It's only $1.99, and you get some special features, some special perks, and it helps support this channel so we can continue to reach more Star Wars fans out there because we put the fun back in the Force, or we'll force you to have fun on this channel. That's what we do one way or another. We like to have fun here on Stay on Target. All right, well, now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into Question of the Week. This one is a bit of a heady one.
I have a stinger, I think.
Oh, do you?
Let's try it.
Hit me with you.
Can you speak Bocce?
Of course I can, sir. It's like a second language to me. I'm a
Yeah, all right,
student.
shut up. I'll take this.
Shut up, sir.
Luke!
Oh, how I've missed you, stingers. I do love the stingers. They're so
They're
good.
living in the background. Sometimes they come out to play.
Can we come out to play? Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
God, that was so bad. Okay, let's not do that. All right, question of the week is, would you... It's a heady one, all right? You got to think this one through. Would you rather travel a dangerous road for a potentially high reward or the easy road with a known mid/just okay reward? All right, that is the question of the week. It's a bit out there. It's a bit heavy, but let me know. Would you rather go the easy route for an okay reward, or would you rather go the dangerous road for a potentially... It's potential. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Either one here, but a potentially high reward. What do you think, Dan? What are your initial thoughts on this question of the week?
My initial thoughts, so you're saying high risk, high reward,
Yes.
or mid risk, mid reward.
Yes.
but clearly the
And no, easy road. So no, I'm just going to say no danger on the easy route, okay?
Really?
And there's high danger. So danger means there's like a 50... We'll do 40% chance you might not make it through, but the reward is going to change your life for the better. I'll say that. How about that?
That sounds pretty heady.
I think that puts it into a bit of a better understanding of the question, because I didn't write it very well. But we're gonna keep moving anyway.
I think
What are you going with?
You
man?
know, I think you gotta go. I think you gotta go big sometimes. I think you gotta swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of a desperate state I'm in, I guess. You know,
What if you have nothing to lose?
if you have nothing to lose, then go big or go home, because you don't know what you're capable of unless you actually shoot for the stars.
And you know, I'm gonna put it into an even better perspective, because I haven't
right.
done that enough so far, apparently.
Let's improve this perspective that has already been improved.
Since we're in Andor,
Yes.
and we've been watching Andor, I kind of got this question from watching Andor season 1.
Rick's
Andor
Road.
didn't really have much to lose, so he kind of went the route of high risk, high reward. So that's kind of where I got it. That gives you another example of where the question is coming from. So,
Okay.
I like a good example.
yes, I do too. Examples help so much when you're trying to get points across. But what about you, fact checker? Give us a good example.
No,
Right now.
can I just give you an answer?
Yeah, give me an answer. What are you going with?
I'm going dangerous road for high reward. Can't say that. High reward.
High reward.
I don't know. I guess maybe I am like Andor. I don't have much to lose, so might as well go for it.
You have a lot to lose. What are you talking
I-
about? Do I? Wow. I didn't know we were going to go depressed tonight.
How much do I really have to lose?
Where we forced you to have fun. I have nothing to lose. But we're going to have fun along the way.
Exactly. No, but I don't know. I live for danger sometimes. Might as well
I live for danger.
keep it interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a complicated thing because, you know, if there's people that rely on you and you're out there just swinging for the fences, taking risks that are like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it depends on what I guess maybe the chain of command, but you're saying if there's nothing to lose. Did you amend that?
Yeah, no, I said if there's nothing to lose.
Right. So if it's just me with nobody underneath that's like, if I do something stupid, they're going to pay the price. Like I'm the only one going to pay the price.
Ooh, that's...
Then I am swinging for the fences. Because I will live and die on my misses and wins.
Well, what if I say this? People will miss you if you're gone.
Well,
Does that change your opinion?
I mean, kind of. But not really.
I'm just going to keep throwing what ifs the whole time. We're never
Yeah.
going to finish this question.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they will miss me, but will they?
Every single
Will they
shot.
not want to? Yeah. Will they not want to be with you because you are a little chicken liver and you're not confident enough to actually go for something? You know, like I am so embarrassed to be with you right now because you took the easy road.
What's the equivalent of a chicken in Star Wars?
The thing they're frying. In
Thing to
Mando.
frying.
In Mando.
Oh, and
A
Mando?
little barbecue.
That the little
Maybe that's a good
porgs.
question. Oh, yeah, I guess pork.
Was it
Yeah.
pork? Oh, shoot.
Oh, no, that's from the sequels, though, but I guess so.
They
Whatever.
exist, and you know,
You're going to be all porg about it.
meat is meat, Dustin. Meat is meat.
You're right.
If it's sequel meat, it's still meat.
All right, well, we got... Oh, Ronto. Yeah, that's a good one, Matt.
Ronto burger.
Ronto burger. All right, and we got Porg. Yeah, Skylark coming with Porg too. Yeah. So Dan, you're swinging for the fences.
Yeah,
Dan.
let's swing.
Fact checker is as well.
Yep.
And you know what? What the heck? Me as well. If I have nothing to lose,
Whoa.
then let's go for it, dude. Let's go for it. Bank dogs, says KG.
Bank dogs. Swing for those bank dogs.
Swing for the bank dogs. All right. Well, what's the chat saying, Fact checker? I want to get some of their answers because I'm sure they are hitting it out of the park right now. Speaking of bank dogs.
Yeah. Bismo said mid.
Good job, Bismo. Good job, Bismo.
I like how you just left it there.
Sorry, I was reading something.
Bismo says mid. I totally thought you were going to
I
follow
know,
that
I'm
with
sorry.
something, and you just dead.
Well, I was reading his other thing and then remembering we talked about it last night, talking about meat. Give me the crate dragon steak burgers.
Oh, dude.
That was called back to his stream.
There you
last
go.
night.
Yes.
And I think he's doing another one tomorrow, if I remember right.
Oh, wow. Nicely done.
Nicely done. Yes, if you guys haven't yet, Biz is a great friend of the channel and the show. If you haven't yet, definitely go over, like, comment, subscribe on everything he's got. He's got some excellent quality material over there, and definitely been going through KOTOR,
yeah.
right now. And
Light side.
Light side. He's light side this time. It's debatable, I feel like, in some moments.
He's doing
but,
good.
Bismo, are you really light side?
you really
He
light
really
side?
did good last night, but they didn't give him the points. It was
Oh,
crazy.
man. That's
I mean,
crazy.
sometimes rules are not rules.
They're meant to be broken.
They
right?
are meant to be
Swing
broken.
for the fences.
Swing for those ruly fences.
Is it a pirate's life for him? Because I do like pirates. So,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you can
but-
like
Anyway.
whatever you want.
yeah,
well,
that's a pirate. Go ahead, fact checker.
Otherwise, KG said, yeah, having nothing to lose definitely changes the stakes.
Yeah.
You're talking like STEAKESs? Oh, no, she spelled it.
Always.
STAKESs. Yes,
did.
changes the stakes.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely does. When you have a lot to lose, you got to be gentle.
Yeah, but she did ask, at what point does the risk become too high? She's thinking of Luthen here.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Good example.
Well, why do you got to bring in Luthen? All right? Because
That
poor
is-
old Luthen, he just is, he's got a lot going on. I don't understand Luthen.
I don't understand
My brain,
Luthen.
I don't know how to analyze. Yeah, it's true. Luthen has to be careful because there is a lot riding on every decision that he makes and every sale, and even the risk of him, as we watched, like recruiting Andor.
But he's definitely high risk, high reward.
It's
right
pretty
now.
high risk to
He
get
is-
Andor, right?
Well, everything he does at this point is he's going against Papa Palps and the Empire and trying to do it sneakily.
And the ISB's watching
yeah.
him, and he knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
kinda.
he is high risk, high reward right now because
Yeah,
he
I
knows
feel
that's
it.
the last play he has.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So-
to be walking in daylight, I'd be freaking. I mean, he's like walking around Rick's, what the Ferrix?
Yeah, Rick's Road.
Yeah, Rick's Road, but he's just walking around. I'm like, dude, like, keep a hat on or something.
I know.
Like, I
Well,
don't know. You're making me nervous.
He has the wig, right?
Yeah, I guess, but
Remember,
not.
you love that sequence.
No, I love
where he
the
gets
wig.
dressed for
I
half
mean-
the. Or somebody loved the sequence where
Well,
he
I
gets dressed for
mean,
half
it was
the
like
episode.
half the episode. I'm excited for that episode. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's maybe this one,
It should be coming
I
soon.
think it
getting
is.
close
I
to
think it is.
the Luthen Rail Shop.
Yeah, and we haven't got the Star Battle sequence is epic
yeah.
too. I can't wait. All right, so another plug for watching the members later. Definitely
Yeah.
come watch it with us. It's going to be a good time.
We're still excited.
We're still excited. I know you got a poll going out there. Did we miss anybody else's response on this fact checker?
Yeah,
Or
well-
just highlight a few more here. I know we got a lot
few
out
more.
there.
Sticking with KG said, this question is tough because I also tend to think like a turtle. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Tamerkin said, I am a proud chicken liver.
Okay.
Maybe a pork liver or Ronto liver.
A Ronto liver,
Yes,
a
I
bank
think-
dog liver.
Her and Skylark were saying the easy road with the mid reward. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either,
No.
of course, because
It's a safe play.
why not? I mean, if it's easy,
Yeah. It's
you
all
get tired
about
of the hard stuff sometimes.
Well, the hard stuff is dangerous. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And it's potential. That doesn't mean it's going to work out in your favor.
Yeah.
At least easy with a mid reward is more of a guarantee.
Yeah, you still
So-
get something.
You still get something out of it.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's not like universally, even if it's just you, like, do you always want to, like, maybe you woke up, you're a little tired, you're like, all right, I don't feel 100%. Maybe I shouldn't go full force into this one right now, even though that's my MO.
Right.
I'm like a little off right now, like a little sluggish. Maybe I should just take an easier route. And that could play out in so many different scenarios because we don't know what the scenario is here.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot. I should have prepped a little bit
If
more.
you think of a battle sequence, certain battle sequences you have to strike, when the time is there, even if it's a riskier strike, because if you don't, you may never get the chance.
Yeah.
If you just slowly plod into it, you may lose the battle or the war.
The war. Gotta take it one battle at a time in Star Wars. We put the wars back in Star Wars.
We do put the warts back in Star Wars.
Ew, gross. What the heck? No, that's Disney.
Skylar,
That's true.
Skylar also said life or reward.
Weighs
Options. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a great
definitely.
point.
Yeah. And then there's go ahead.
No,
We could beat this to death.
could beat
I'm
this
still thinking about it.
no, that's totally
Well,
fine.
let me end the poll, but
Yes,
it looks
do it.
like
Do
looks
it.
like a dangerous road for a high reward is the winner in the poll at least.
the winner.
Good people, good. It's a close one, though. I see it's 62-37.
Yeah, it's not blown away.
I wish I could bring in the poll and, I guess I could screenshot it. I won't.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, no, so great job, everybody. Thank you for answering that question. It's a tough one. It was a tough question. There was a lot of what ifs about that maybe I should have planned more for. But you never know. That's stay on target.
About it.
You never know when we're going to stay on target or get off target. That's the point of the show. All right. Well, we got more to get into. But before we get into more things, we do have a little bit more to promote here. We have this Friday coming up. We have War of the Cosmic Tyrants. We are going to be on episode 4 this week. If you haven't yet, it's been a blast. It's our Star Wars D&D campaign that we started about a month ago now. And we've been having a lot of fun there, introducing some new characters, some new character designs, and it's a homebrew too, so it's totally our own story that we're coming up with and having a lot of fun over there. So if you haven't checked it out yet, definitely go back and watch 1, 2, and 3. They're a bit long, but they are fun to throw in as you're doing something else or whatever. It's a good time. Tell your friends about it. It's fun. It's a good time. So definitely check that out this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the date fact checker you will get for me.
Is the 21st.
Thank you. The 21st. So definitely come back then for that. It's a blast. All right, and we also have some talent on target. Rise of the Fans is happening April 16th. So that's only a few weeks away. And it's where we showcase your art, your talent here on Stay on Target. And this one is going to be all Andor themed. So that could be Rogue One, Andor Season 1, any promotional material for Andor Season 2. So it's where we showcase your art, and everybody who submits a entry gets what's the right term here, fact checker? They get
a prize.
A prize, yeah. I guess that's something small from us, from us to you.
It's a high risk, high reward scenario.
No, that is a low.
Is it a safe risk, safe thing?
Yeah.
Safe reward.
I'd say maybe not a high reward situation here.
Yeah,
but we will have a random drawing for a winner to get a more mid prize. So I'm really talking this up well. But get your talent in. The last day to get that in, fact checker, is
the 12th.
The 12th of April.
Yes.
Yes.
41225.
Wow. It sounds like
That's not my social security number. That's a date in our calendar.
So if you want to see anything like that we've done like this before, we did do one back for Gonksgiving, we called it, and we had a whole Gonk themed talent target, which was a blast, and everybody who submit there got their own sticker. And it was a blast. So definitely submit your art there. We want to see it. We want to showcase your talent because with all of us together, again, we make Star Wars better. But it's the rise of the fans. It's you guys. Star Wars wouldn't be here without the fans. I wholeheartedly believe that, and that's why we like to include you guys and have a lot of fun with you here. So we can't wait to see your talent. Definitely get your submissions in.
Well, this started back when we kind of started with Mandalorian. Right after Mandalorian, everybody's like, certain shows, certain pieces of Star Wars, in my opinion, give you some creative juices.
Yeah.
And for me, Andor does that. And maybe for some of you, you get excited about Andor. So I don't know. It's just, I think it's fun when you do the theme, as well. I think it was fun when we didn't do a theme because people do whatever they want. But it's even more fun to focus that creative ability into like a theme or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's, because they're all kind of go together. And we're all excited about Andor. We were excited about Thanksgiving. I think it's pretty clever.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just so you know, art could be a drawing, a painting you did, a sculpture, some music. There's a bunch of different things you could submit. So it just has to be appropriate for the channel, and we'll obviously deem it appropriate for the show. But yeah, family friendly is what we go for here.
Yeah.
So as much as possible. Although World of Cosmic Tyrants has been a bit not so family friendly. Just a warning. I saw Matt Risman saying in the comments, he was like, hopefully no gambling this week. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen on World of There are pirates. There's a lot of stuff. It's a real thing in Star Wars.
When you go on an adventure in the real tyrant world, things are going to happen, right, Dustin?
Oh, yeah. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just a player. That's part of the fun for me.
You're just gambling your life
I'm
away.
just gambling. I'm a pirate, so
yeah.
that's what pirates do.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And Hannah had that. Oh, she reminded us that she did that Rogue One poster.
Yes.
Remember that one? That was peak.
That was
peak.
That might have been the inspiration for the theme, too. So.
No.
Cool.
No. Are you serious?
Yes.
KG, I'm going to do some photography.
Oh, yeah.
that'd
That
be
would be
amazing.
awesome,
Kylar.
too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, can't wait to see it completed, Hannah Roll. Bismo. He just said some more than others.
I think he was referring to...
No, I'm just trying to think here.
He's talking specifically about Ahsoka. Some
more than... Oh, some shows inspire certain people more than others?
Oh, yes.
Like in a certain show that starts with an A?
Ahsoka?
Apples.
Andor?
Apples?
Apples?
What other Star Wars things start with an A?
Anthology films?
And Zarin or Anzellin?
And Zellins. It's not a
Wow.
movie, but that's a
Yeah.
species.
Species.
That's Babu Frick, man.
That is Babu Frick, which is a B.
Bismo's got some. He's shooting some off here.
Anakin, there we go. Now we're cooking with butter.
I don't know why we're AT-AT. Now everybody's joining in.
I'm just saying.
What other A words are there in Star Wars?
I think it's still fun to speak letters, but
Speak letters.
nothing gets you more excited than maybe Ahsoka for you, but for me it's Andor, and so
I don't know if anybody knew that.
if anybody knew what
Alderaan.
places.
Yeah.
Atten.
Okay.
Nice.
Good job. I add it and AT-AT.
All right. Well, speaking of Andor and getting into more things, we're gonna jump into some Holonet news real fast.
Let's see.
Do you have one?
beeper? I think so.
Everything's under control. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
I think there's just enough music in that one
There's just enough
that we don't get.
we don't get flagged. Which, funny enough, that's one of the funniest moments to us in all Star Wars. So
Clearly.
if you haven't watched that yet, definitely watch and comment. Let us know what you think your funniest moment is, and what the funniest moment is in Star Wars to you. I can say words. All right. So Holonet news that's dropping. An interesting thing happened I don't know if it was this week, but it's recently. It's been kind of making the rounds. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that they're planning on, or possibly bringing in Mara Jade into the Disney Star Wars Galaxy, or Star Wars Galaxy, whatever. But the rumor is that it's going to be Zendaya. So if you know who Mara Jade is the love interest to Luke Skywalker in the expanded universe. I actually really love this character, Mara Jade. I thought that Timothy Zahn did an excellent job writing her, and that does not fit. In my mind, Zendaya, she is a great actress. I'm not saying that, and I think she could pull off maybe the attitude quite well, but and the range of acting, she does have that range. Yeah. The biggest problem, though, in some ways, is that Mara Jade is a fiery redhead. So it's just a lot different than what's in. Not that there's a problem necessarily with that. I think as long as the character fits, but in my mind, it just. I don't know. I don't know why you would go that way versus it feels a little desperate to just get more people to watch just from her popularity than putting the right actor and right person for the job. But what do you guys think about this?
My initial thought is what KG said here is I'm sure they'd give her red hair. So
It's possible.
Fiery red Irish. Happy St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, like, she's okay. I think she's fine in acting and whatnot.
Yeah.
I liked her in Spider-Man and the Marvel Universe. I haven't seen a lot of her other stuff outside of that, other than like Dune or whatever. But
I didn't absolutely love. Again, actually, that's funny. In Spider-Man, what's her character? She is.
Oh yeah.
She plays the
MJ.
red.
She plays the non.
And she has dark hair.
redhead.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna do the same thing, potentially. Okay,
Yeah,
and this is just a rumor. Again, none of this might be true.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
saw it making the rounds. And I thought it might be interesting for us to talk about and see what.
No,
you guys
I
thought.
mean, if Zendaya is in it, I'm sure they would. If the writers and whatever, it's just kind of like you got to be careful when you announce these things because you're like, to just change. You got a beloved character. Why not? Why bring them into the universe and then? I mean, they've done this before where they cast somebody off the wall that you're like, I don't know how that's going to work, but then it works. They do it, and it's faithful to the thing. I think she might be a little bit too much in the limelight now with too many movies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's hard to disassociate her.
That's what Bismo was saying.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
what a lot of people are saying in the chat. It's hard to disassociate her from other characters. And also because I know people are saying Dune, Chani and Dune. I think she did a great job, although they did stray from the books a little bit on that. Not too much, but a little bit. I think more for her character and the times we're living in now. But I think because Star Wars was also heavily inspired by Dune. So now it's just different. I don't know. I think
Is it coming full circle?
what I really think they need to do is get back to is getting more unknown actors and actresses so that but finding the right one, you got to be really good and really careful with your choices here, but finding the right one that fits the role that they can embody. I mean, that's what they did with the original Star Wars. That's what George Lucas did with the original Star Wars, and it worked out fantastic. They tried that again in some ways for the sequel trilogies. I don't think it worked quite as well, but in the prequels, I think it worked great again. You just got to find the right talent for it. I mean, there were some well-known actors, but not as well-known then, so you could still see them as those characters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay, but I think the excitement about Mara Jade is more important.
Yeah. MJ.
MJ? Dustin.
I know.
That's even
That's
weird.
what
Sorry,
they're
Good
doing.
job, fact checker. I don't know. My mind is
Star Wars
collectively blown.
MJ.
Oh my goodness.
To be honest, Bismo, Daisy Ridley was good casting. Just poor story. Just pull it off.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a Band-Aid.
I don't think Daisy Ridley is a bad actress. I just think they didn't give her anything good. I think it was more the character. They just didn't give character development, and they didn't give her much to work with.
Yeah.
It's funny, too, because my unappreciation of, to put it nicely, of the sequel trilogy with Rey is like my kids. They see Rey every once in a while, and I'm like, oh man, it's Rey. And my son at some point was like, oh, it's Rey. Oh. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, wait, we got to be fair here. I said I don't dislike Rey.
Right.
I dislike the character growth that they didn't give her. I said it was bad writing. Not that I dislike Rey. It's just that I dislike the bad writing that they gave her. So I had to clarify just so that he didn't immediately dislike Rey, because one of the best themes, to your point, Dan, is Rey's theme. She has a great
The music.
a great theme for her.
Has Mara Jade had a theme done? Well, Johnny Williams better get on it.
Yeah, but before he gets
It's
going.
going to sound Irishy, you know?
I hope so. Now that would be awesome.
That would be
Maybe
good.
it's like piratey too, because she's kind of like a rapscallion, if I remember correctly.
Well, there's some depth to her character. I'll just
So-
tell you, there's
Well,
a
that's
lot more
true.
depth to her character than there is.
There's
to,
a lot of historical depth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. So Skylark asked, if not Zendaya, who would you guys cast as Mara
Oh
Jade?
shoot! I got one right here. Look, Matt Risman helped. He took the words right out of my mouth. They could probably get Rachel Zegler to play Mara Jade. She may be looking for work.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow.
You know. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh my goodness.
You were thinking the same thing.
No, but
Ironically.
it still was funny.
Oh, that's a
That
good.
made
That's
me
a good
laugh.
line.
That made me laugh.
Oh yeah,
But,
for sure. If like for me, I just want to go with somebody who's more not known. I want to go for an unknown actress that they can cast that fits the role, that fits the attitude, and I think people would appreciate that more as long as she's got the chops for it. But they got to be careful whenever they do the casting, and also it depends on who's running the story. Doesn't matter how good of an actress you get if you have a director that can't work with those actors and actresses. So there's a lot of what ifs here in this situation. And in a lot of ways, I'm just nervous in general for them to bring Mara Jade to Star Wars because of, I hate to say it, but the way they've treated characters in Star Wars so far have not been up to par. I think there's a lot of potential that they're missing with these characters, and I don't want people to get soured on these characters immediately whenever there's a deep, rich lore out there that's 10 times better that people are going to totally miss because they're like, oh, I didn't like that on screen, so I'm not going to read any books about it. I'm not going to do anything with that. So I don't know. That's my opinion. If you had, some people were talking, Karen Gillan might be a good choice for Mara Jade. I could see it in some ways. She can be feisty, especially if you watch like Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor. She was in that, and I think she did a pretty good job. But I don't know if she has. Well, she's in the Disney sphere in a lot of ways too. So I think that would be a better choice in my opinion. But I don't know if she has the chops as much to pull it off. So that's why I'm going with.
She doesn't have the red chops.
Yeah. What about you, fact checker? You got anybody in mind?
Well, let's see. I looked up other potential actresses out there that could play her. And I'm not endorsing any of these, but like this article said, Kristen Stewart, which I would definitely say no. Anna de Armas, I think is how you say it.
Oh, yeah. She's in everything, too.
Yeah,
much.
I could see her, maybe. I mean, I don't know Mara Jade maybe as well as you do, but she's...
Well, because the tricky thing with Mara Jade is she has to have a lot of attitude, but still be likable, but she can get dark as well. So there's a lot of different, there's range there.
Multifaceted.
It's multifaceted. There's a lot of range you got to tap into, but still be likable. It's like a bad character that you like in some ways.
Well,
like an anti-hero in some ways.
I just think it's going to take some acting chops like you're talking about. I think you're going to need... In fact, Skylark said Saoirse Ronan. I think she's got like an Academy Award or close to it.
Oh, Source? Is that Source Ronan? Or how do you
I
pronounce
think
that?
they say Saoirse
It's
Ronan.
Circe, yeah,
Oh, Circe?
Probably
But
pretty Irish.
something
Amir
like
Circe.
that, you know, like obviously Timothy Chalamet was just in Dune, but like that guy can act. So if they're gonna cast somebody, just cast somebody that we know has the acting chops.
Oh, yeah. She's...
And that can bring the emotion, because I think you're right. Mara Jade is extremely conflicted, and there's a lot going on there. So if she doesn't deliver it, very much like Tony Gilroy said that the actress that plays Bix delivered the moment.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't get delivered, even though it's written well, it's not going to pay off. So however you do Mara Jade, she's got to be able to pull it off, like you said.
Exactly. So there's a lot riding on it. The crazy thing, too, is that this character has to play well against Luke Skywalker.
Saoirse. Okay.
Saoirse, yeah, I see that. So Duke has jumped in. He said, charismatic baddie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Charismatic baddie.
But what's up, Duke? Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah,
Everybody
Duke,
else who's with
Patrick.
us right now. Thank you
Happy
guys for
St.
tuning
Patrick's Day.
in. St. Patty's Day.
I knew there was some
I like how
connection
you tied that together.
I just saw Patrick and I went with it.
All right, cool. Well, I think we've talked this one to death. Let's keep moving on here.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ones. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, there's a lot.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I think he was kidding. Hannah Rowe likes the idea of Karen Gillan. Pretty amazing in the Doctor Who and Jumanji.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay.
Yep.
Who's the new girl in? Does she have red hair in Fantastic Four? I don't know if she has red hair or not.
Is that the one we were talking about?
I don't know. Is that Karen Gillan?
No.
Is that Saoirse Ronan? Saoirse?
I'm not sure, but she is in the Disney sphere, and she's kind of the right age in some ways.
I have
so.
no
Like the newest one,
Sophie
first
Turner
steps?
says, is it Sophie Turner?
Is it Sophie Turner?
Yeah, the new Fantastic Four. Is that Sophie Turner?
Yeah.
I don't know if she can act, but
I'm
at least she looks like she can act in the trailer. I thought that was a pretty good trailer, actually.
yeah.
That was our boy Mando.
Mando. He's in everything now.
He's in everything. He was even in some commercial I just watched about did you see that commercial?
Probably not.
It was online. I don't have TV, but there's some weird commercial. I was like, what is he selling me?
What is
It was like
and bought.
it was like toothpaste or something. I was like,
The
okay.
newest Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Sophie Turner.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
Bryce
seeing-
Dallas Howard? No, Bryce Dallas. No.
no,
Vanessa.
But she does have
as
red hair.
Storm,
I don't know.
What?
Is that who it is?
the Invisible Woman, is Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, the Invisible.
Oh, she's an
Woman.
invisible woman?
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
the
maybe I didn't
Invisible
see her
Woman.
then.
Wow.
Is that her next to Pedro in
Yeah.
the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they married?
No, well,
You just have to watch it.
Yeah,
Dan.
we're-
I guess. I'm curious.
Dan is very curious tonight.
I just got a lot of
Yeah,
questions
Vanessa
and not
Kirby.
enough answers.
She could do a good job. Yeah, there's tons of potential out there. But yeah, it basically comes down to casting, if they fit the role, and how they portray it, and the director and the writing and everything goes into it. There's so much going on around it. I don't think that Zendaya, and this might have just been news to get people talking about it. It might be nothing. It honestly might be nothing. It's just a rumor. So, all right, let's keep moving on. We got we're dropping. They're dropping the newest Andor. They confirmed, right?
Yes.
Fact checker, you got this one. I'm sorry.
Say it.
That
Say it.
the time they locked in the time zone. No, the time slot. That's the word for the release of the Andor episodes. So starting on Tuesday, April 22nd, it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
And it is on April 22nd.
Yes.
422.
Yep. So 3 episodes. So get
Starting
some popcorn
at 9.
ready.
Yeah,
Eastern time.
That's gonna be a long one.
They
9
could be
p.m.
30 minutes apiece,
They
and
could
it's an
be.
hour and a half. You'll be done by 10:30. Lights out by 11. That's fine.
I wish.
Wow.
I mean,
Dan's got a
I
plan.
think you're going to be so hyped, though. You're going to be like, we got to talk about this.
There's no way we're not gonna watch it.
Let's get on the social medias.
We should do a watch along with that. That'd be fun. I'm not promising that. I'm just saying it would be fun.
8 Central or
Perfect.
7 PST.
Mountain time.
Is that Mountain Time? What is that, MST?
Well, it depends. I don't know. Are we in daylight savings right now?
I don't know. Are
I
we?
don't know what
Let's
we
just
are.
stay on
So
target
I
where
just
We
like
fast
to get
forwarded
into
a little bit ago.
weeds.
They sucked 1 hour of my life away recently. That's all I know. Darn
matter.
people. Who's in charge of these rules? You don't get an hour of my life. Give it back. All right, but you have to wait till November. Okay. All right. Well, we're on borrowed time then. If you make me mad, I'm going to take an hour of your life away. Maybe I'll take the rest of it away.
Whoa!
I don't know who the powers that be are.
You
but
are
I'm
more
gonna-
like
I'm-
Andor, aren't
but I'm
you?
gonna go. I'm more like Andorican tonight.
Dorkin. Oh, it sounds like adorable.
It sounds like Hadouken. Hadouken! Oh, no. This has been a Dan rant. I love that.
Well, we are going to
time
be
zones.
up at 9 o'clock watching Andor. If they said 3 in the morning, I'd probably be up. I'm not saying I'd be like awake and alert, but I'd be awake. I'd be watching it.
I love how people just get a glimpse into your mind.
Everyone's
No,
smile.
not many people do very
so
often. It's-
Skylark said he went from curious to violent very quickly.
You went straight to the dark.
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Well, I'm getting excited because we're about to talk about Andor for a few minutes.
Yes,
and
we
we're going
are.
to watch these episodes. I'm telling you.
That's a perfect segue, Dan. You have some fantastic dark side points there. And so we're also this on Thursday of last week. We don't need to know the date and the time.
Thank goodness.
Tony Gilroy, and I forget who was with him. That's rude. But they did what would you call it? It was a live stream.
Q&A.
It was a live Q&A.
Live Q&A, yeah, there we go. Live Q&A, talking all things, well, mostly Andor Season 1, but also
Yeah.
the road to Andor
Did they
Season 2.
steal our idea?
What was that?
The road to Andor? We own the road to Andor.
I don't think they didn't say that in their
Well,
live stream, did they?
No, they didn't. And they could have. They could have said whatever they wanted to. But I'm just...
He's just upset about it anyway.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
we have that copyrighted, don't we? Like,
Yeah.
road
Yeah.
to
Wait,
Andor.
let me do it real fast.
All right, hurry up, get that going.
Exactly.
Like, we have the Rick's Road to Andor.
The Rick's Road to Andor.
I love it.
Yeah, follow the Ferrix brick road.
Follow the Ferrix Brick
This is
Road. That's
KG.
right. It's painted with gold.
Yeah, so speaking of painted with gold, there was a lot of gold nuggets
Good grief.
in that live stream, which we watched here, and I had a lot of fun. And also in some ways, since we do a live stream every week, how they didn't really struggle, but in sometimes I was like, they're experiencing live stream difficulties. It wasn't bad at all, but it was just like, for live streamers, it was just kind of fun for us to watch.
I got to say, the
and
audio was
experience.
pretty trash from an audio perspective. But
Wow.
it didn't matter because as long as I could hear Tony Gilroy talk about Andor from across the room, I was going to listen. You know, I was like, that's as close as you're going to get to the guy behind the scenes because the guy's a genius.
Yeah.
And the more you hear him talk about what he was doing, you're like, wow, That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Right.
What'd he share?
Yeah. So let's hit some highlights.
Yeah, I've got the thing like here.
Queued up.
I've got it somewhat queued.
I don't know if we have time.
No, not the whole
But-
thing. I'm just
Right.
like, hold on, let me mute it here.
Whoa!
It's loud.
It is loud. So
But yeah, it's and you're zoomed in.
I am very zoomed in. Hello.
Let's clear this up.
Hello, people.
KG said, I want his Narkina Swim t-shirt.
Yes.
Team shirt.
So that
That was incredible.
Yeah, Dan, that was the one thing you even messaged us all, and you were like, "Did you see a shirt?"
I actually laughed like completely out loud when that happened. I was like, "Are you serious?" He had it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it because I didn't get a chance to watch.
Yeah. So let's see if I can find it. If
Q&A.
I can get Dustin on screen where he doesn't look like
A zoomy. What?
he's going
Sounds
zoomy.
weird. It's like what cats do in the middle of the night. Zoomies.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a cat.
Cats are the devil.
Duke posted a few minutes ago, said Andor ? Heavy breathing cat meme.
Absolutely.
See, the cats are here. All right, new poll. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Am I really doing that?
No, you don't have to do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Oh man, yeah. So Tony Gilroy, he had a ton of epic moments, and I'm just gonna talk while I know you're doing that.
You're
Dan.
looking at the fact checker right now,
doing
but you're
great.
hearing Dustin.
You're hearing me. I am not the fact checker. I am behind the fact checker. A little short. My head pops out behind her. Anyway,
We're back.
imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there we are.
We're
But
little.
anyway, he had a lot of great. Who is he with? Who's the
Her name is Ash Crossan. I
Ash
just remembered
Crossan.
it.
Okay, yeah,
She's
she's
like a collider. I think she did a bunch of stuff back in the day, and I mean
Wow.
continues with Star Wars. But
yeah.
She's the one interviewing him, right?
Yes.
Or doing the
Worked on the
Q&As.
show.
yeah, she's just
Okay.
interviewing it. You want to like hear a minute of it? Let's see if I can find the.
Find the shirt.
You know
if
what that
can.
reminded me of? The shirt moment.
What?
Dave Filoni
Oh, yeah, you're right.
when he took off the shirt that said, and it revealed the Ahsoka lives.
yeah, that was epic.
yeah,
That
it
was actually pretty dang epic for Rebels.
Right here. I'm just gonna play the clip because it's just them talking. Let's see. It was when he introduced.
No, it's the next guy.
To fight.
Yeah,
We are joined
Yeah.
by Melshi himself.
Melshi was
Melshi.
on,
Mr. Duncan, pal.
and I don't know what his real name is, but I think it's
It
right
says
here.
it, but
Good, man. You know, I'm gonna.
yeah.
Here it
I'm
is.
gonna-
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
I got a surprise for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just take this off without making
Just like
noise on my microphone.
quick
But
wardrobe
Live problems.
Yeah, see?
stream.
I have my Narkina 5 swim team.
Yes, are you kidding me?
I do love the Narkina 5 swim team.
So, yeah.
That is
see you.
epic.
That's hilarious.
What do you think of that?
KG said
What do you
she
think of
found
that?
the shirt.
I want to know what.
Oh, really?
Public, yeah.
Oh
Man,
my goodness.
We're going to have to get that.
Because we didn't even think about something like that, because I mean, we probably
think
joked
we
around
said-
about it.
I
We probably
honestly
did.
think we said something about it in our. If you go back and watch some of our live streams when we cover Andor season 1, I do think we said something about a swim team or I don't know, at least excellent swimmers because we were like, look how far they gotta go.
Yeah.
But
It
we'll
was
see.
that
We'll
I
have to
actually
find it.
laughed out loud at that point because it was a lot of the stream had already gone through. But when he said that, I was like, the swim team because poor old what's his name, Gollum couldn't swim.
So we know what's his actual name.
No,
Fracture?
it's Kino Loy.
Kino Loy.
Loy.
I'm Kino Loy.
I'm Kino Loy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael
Sounds like
Caine.
Michael Caine. there.
Michael Caine.
Bismo said, "Who's this Tony guy you keep talking?" Okay, let's get this straight. He has written the best Star Wars material
Whoa.
out there,
According to Dan.
Uh-oh.
according to me, in my opinion, that
Fair.
has been released, in my opinion, since George Lucas. I'm putting it out there. Filoni has
Whoa.
incredible legend.
Whoa.
But this guy knows how to write characters, and when I watch Star Wars, I want to see characters that have some intelligence and depth and quality behind them. And this guy, while he may not be the most giant Star Wars fan, like he's touched the same kind of things that like Filoni has in Rebels, maybe, or George Lucas did in the movies,
Right.
or like John Williams has done in the score of certain characters. Like it's that level, in my opinion. And so for me, that's why this show stands out because like he's not thinking about, well, I need to bring in like Vader at this moment, and I need to wedge in some kind of person from this other thing. He's just writing incredible depth, and he even talks about it here. Like when you write characters, like how do you do it? I'm going to see if I can find the clip where he talks about it because he breaks down how he starts with like, he's like, it's like you're going to draw somebody and you just take your pencil out and you're like, I don't want this. Like a character from scratch. Like, I don't do that. Hannah does that. All these people do it. But like you draw somebody, I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to have that big a nose. And you just kind of erase a little bit. And he has this perfect way of saying it. And it blows me away because I'm not that creative, but I like hearing how he thinks about creating these characters.
Yeah. And how he lets things even develop over time. But he has a goal and a plan in mind. That's the thing that is good for Star Wars. You got to have a goal, you got to have a plan, and you can weave other things into it. Like one of the interesting points that he talked about when it comes to character is he was talking about talking to Mon Mothma and about Mon Mothma, but then what they also said was, well, she's got a daughter and a husband, and he was like, oh, he's like, could we work that in? And he's like, yeah, we could probably work that in. Let me see if we can do that. And then they have to
that's right.
check with things. But the crazy thing about that was he already had a plan for her. It wasn't necessarily involving her, but how it's kind of developed. And they brought in the daughter and the husband, and they're doing that arc. It's just crazy how he talked about it. I was impressed with that and how he was like, yeah, screw it, let's do it. And I think it's added another dynamic to the show. It also created some more depth to that character and the arc that they're going to take, and even how it's developed into season 2 from what we've seen, and how they were so careful not to give anything away for season 2. It was crazy. But so they mostly talked about season 1, but they did give you can tell all the actors though that came on, they were like, I feel like all the NDAs must be so scary.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because they're all just super nervous to say anything.
No.
No, I was going to say he it's like we wished that all of the if you love Ahsoka, you want somebody to write the character of Ahsoka. Let's not take Ahsoka because that's kind of rough. Or the example. If you love Thrawn, any character, you want someone to write that character in such a way that it gives them like depth. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like you want him to craft it with the utmost care. And it just feels like he puts the utmost care into these characters. And there's not like 4 characters in the show. There's like 10, 15 main characters that he's interweaving in a complicated time with a rebellion happening and all this sort of stuff. It's like he just pulls from different things and manages. It's like Star Wars doesn't even necessarily deserve this level of writing in some ways because it's mostly just for kids, right? I mean, it's teenagers, preteens, written as a coming of age story. This is so mature in some ways, like adult, that like it's like reading I don't read very many books, but I've read some books and sometimes they like blow your mind. You're like how things weave in and things come out of nowhere. I feel like in this season he's going to do it.
Well, and what we found out recently, I mean, people have known about it for a long time, but it's been making the news again, is that that's what George Lucas was planning for his TV show. He was planning on making it a little bit more for the older generation. It was going to be a little bit more, not adult, but it was definitely going to have a little bit more adult themes, and he was going to take things more seriously. And I feel like it's interesting that Tony Gilroy decided to go that route as well.
Right.
Knowing if he knew that George was going to do it, and I think that's part of the reason why it's working, because it is reaching, I think, the more OG fans, because they are older. You know, we have grown, so there are some more depth we can get, some more intrigue, a little bit darker. We can touch upon these things, and not go over the top, obviously. But
and Star
Wars, I think it's a good play.
Yeah,
that's what's the genius of Tony Gilroy.
I think so, and I feel like he leaned into the espionage side in season 1. He leaned into the way they have to, like, Mon Mothma has to act in such a way where she's like saying things to people, but she knows people are watching what she says, so she can't react in a certain way. It's so heady how he has to do this and how he wrote it. And I feel like if you put that kind of attention, because I get that there's not, weren't lightsabers, there wasn't the Force, and Star Wars has those things. Let's just be honest. Like, you can't take the Force, you can't take lightsabers and Jedi and Sith out of Star Wars. Like, that is the thing. But from this side of, like, if you're not a Jedi and a Sith in that world, and you're just a normie trying to, like, make your life better because for the most of us, like, we're not all Jedi. Like, we all
Right.
want to be Jedi, but we're just normies. This is like what that would have been like. And I feel like it's the most accurate. If you don't have the superpower of the Jedi to go with, because at this point they've all been eliminated. You know, they've got this evil bad. They don't know that he's a Sith, or maybe they do, but they're just trying to fight for independence, for a better world that they live in. You know what I'm saying?
Which is more relatable.
Yes, which is this, because oppression and various regimes have come and take over, like World War II in different times, where you just have to make what you have better. And you're willing to do the sneaky things. Now, but I feel like if he turned his attention to lightsabers, the space battle was incredible, by the way. But if he turns it to the Force, if he turned the same care and attention that he puts into these characters that don't have the Force and Jedi, if he did that with Jedi and the Force and all that, your brain would explode with goodness, because I feel like he would craft that kind of like quality in the, you know what I mean? In the same way, he would approach it in the same way, I think. Because once he wants to, I just feel like you give the guy the keys to the castle when he wants to write something, because he's going to treat it well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he's proven that he's an intelligent writer. And also the fact, to me, that Andor has stood more the test of time. I think now when it first came out, people were so burnt out on some bad. There was definitely some big swings and big misses right before it came out. Even we were shocked that Andor was our favorite in that year.
For sure. Yeah.
But that it's just grown. The anticipation and the excitement for this show has just grown over time, because people went back to it and been like, yeah, that is one of the greatest Star Wars things that we've got. It was just people were kind of in a different headspace then. Yeah. But to go back to your characters, I actually think it's from the trailer, actually, but the chick who played Bix, I forget her name. Was it?
Adria or something.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yaja or something.
Yeah, but she said in the trailer that it was that these. Well, oh shoot! Now I'm gonna get it wrong. I forget everything while we're live. But it's where she said it's a compelling story that just happens to take place in Star Wars.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously I think she got that from Tony as well. I think that's the way that Tony has come into it, into the storytelling aspect. Yeah. He wants to tell a good, compelling story first and foremost, and then he asks basically, what can I bring into this that's in Star Wars, Yep. So, and then he puts the pieces together.
And he's an auteur. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, just also on that, I loved the comment we got on the recent video that was talking about what Tony Gilroy said. You kind of recapped some things. It was from Darth Tekalote, I guess. But just mentioning that Luthen was based on a real figure in history, Jean Moulin. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he was a French resistance leader during World War II. And that was absolutely fascinating. I didn't know about that guy, but it definitely made me look him up. And the similarities are so prevalent. It's great, because I love history too.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's neat to see it in a different way, and now in a Star Wars way.
And that's genius in multiple levels, for the fact that the Empire was based off of the Nazis, and the fact that we're bringing in that same time frame a character that was, or not a character, but a real life example through history, potentially into the Star Wars.
It does sound like, unfortunately, if it meets the same end as that guy, we're not going to love it. But
according to Nick,
potential spoilers if you do look into the history there. So potential.
Well,
spoilers.
we've already said it here. I mean, Nick.
Yeah, Nick Well, Nick thinks everybody's going to die.
He's hoping
going to make it. Yeah, exactly. I got the clip though where he talks about the characters. Can I play that?
Go right
ahead.
Or so? Yeah, for sure.
See if I can pull it up here. I had time stamped it. It was actually a question by the one of the live streamers. So it was me. No,
was it you? It was you. I knew
or
it.
Matt
Rissman. Yeah, or
Biz
KG or
Biz or Biz. I probably not.
Tamerkin.
Going to be the stress of how do you take your little revolution and all the work you've done for 15 years, how do you go public with that, and how do you go large?
Okay.
And that's really the stress. So we're going to watch him under a great deal of stress.
That's Luthen.
So there you go. I think we have one more final live question here.
Is this it?
Yes.
Okay.
For Tony Gilroy, how do you balance the morality of the characters in Andor, especially those like Cyril and Dedra?
They say Dedra.
Dedra.
I don't.
Hear this. This is genius.
I don't balance anything. I don't. I don't have a ledger or I'm not. They're who they are. When you're writing any character, you want to be with them. We're all the heroes of our own story.
Right.
We all.
No one believes that.
Genius.
And we're all the victims of our own insecurities, it's I've never been able to. I don't see the purpose of how you would write a character with an agenda. I want to write this character because I want them to do this thing. You may say, oh, I need somebody who's going to be dark, or like I said, I need a Luthen who's going to be a recruiter and a revolutionary. But with Cyril and Dedra, the same thing. They revealed themselves along the way as you're writing them, and you just want them to be fascinating and truthful. You want to be able to believe that the things that they do, and the changes that they make.
I love this.
Season 2, we'll see all kinds of new stresses on them. That everything is truthful. That if people have been watching all the way from the beginning and invested in it, that they don't feel burned. It's always weird when you see a character and their IQ goes up and down based on what the writer wants them to do.
Yes,
Ahsoka.
So many shows,
you
even in the
You
Acolyte.
want to have it. Oh my God! Of course, that's what you want it to be surprising and inevitable, and and it's a big adventure that all these characters are. I mean, it's an adventure story, really, beyond all the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah.
All the
Just crazy
complications of character and behavior. In the end, these are a bunch of hopefully really interesting people cast in a really vivid adventure story.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for that question.
I don't think she was listening to anything he said there, but
No, she was stressing about what she needed to say next.
she's
And what
like,
she needed to do
yeah.
next. She probably had like 3 people in her ear telling her what needs to come next.
you need to keep moving here.
Yeah.
But isn't that genius, though?
That was.
I mean, that's just a sliver where, like, well, how do you balance the fact that maybe they're going to be good or bad or whatever? And he's like, he didn't say the thing about a pencil, did he?
He did talk about that earlier, I believe.
Okay, so that wasn't the exact segment, but
No,
still
but-
makes the point that you don't have to...
The point.
The point.
The
And
pencil
how
point.
he said that, characters aren't, changing based on the plot. Like, that's something you can't always put your finger on, but we always notice that as the Stay on Target people. We're like, why didn't he just do the thing that he did 5 minutes ago?
Star Wars fans in general,
Well, if
don't insult our intelligence.
If Rey can force heal, why doesn't she go do this force healing and then do this? Well, because at that moment she didn't feel like she could, or
right.
what,
it retroactively destroys a lot.
You're filling a plot hole with a whatever, So
he even called out some bad writing that had taken place in Star Wars. Whenever he says you don't want your character's intelligence to go up and down depending on what the writer or the director wants it to be. And I know, Biz, don't get mad at me, but I'm sorry. In Ahsoka, the Rebels crew did not seem like the Rebels crew at all to me. That was my biggest problem in a lot of ways for the Ahsoka series. And I think he is nailing it here by what he's talking about. And just the way he talks about character in general gets me excited for all these different characters that we've experienced. And we've seen it. He's proved himself. And all the other directors and writers who are working for Disney Star Wars, or just in general, should take note.
Absolutely. And the only characters that he's using that we have known going into this were obviously Andor, but we saw like the end of his life, like under extreme stress, and then Mon Mothma,
right?
And then the other guy.
Luthen.
No, we didn't know Luthen. I'm talking about characters that we had known previously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? So he's given us like a whole new catalog of people. Like, did you know Mon Mothma was married? Did you know she had a daughter? The daughter was going to get married, and that all that backstory, where we've gotten backstory on other characters that destroyed the character practically. What Acolyte stuff with what's his name and maybe even Yoda and what they're trying to do there, or who's the main bad? That's the rule of two.
Plagueis,
but he's given us something on Mon Mothma that we didn't even know we needed or want. She's got so much depth now with what's going to happen, I think, and seeing her struggle to, live this double life of, and how she gets there. But I mean, he gave us Cyril, he gave us Dedra in the ISB. We love the ISB. We don't love the ISB, but we know
we love the way they're written.
Krennic,
shown.
We love Krennic. We love. Is it what's his name? Callus, Agent Callus.
He might show up.
Was he ISB?
He wasn't. No, I don't.
He was
think
just
he was
high
ISB.
up in the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a ton of nuggets in that whole interview. If you haven't had a chance, it's definitely, if you want to learn about character development, if you want to learn about just Andor and what they went through to design it, to create it, for season 1, season 2, that was an excellent watch. Excellent. Or just listen. I listened to basically the whole thing. I was doing some other things. And Matt Risman did say earlier, one of the funniest moments was whenever he even kind of made fun of the acolyte.
Yeah, at
he
the
even
end.
called it out. I was like, dang, this guy.
Well, he didn't say
high risk,
acolyte.
I know, but high risk, high reward in
Yes.
some ways. He's not afraid to take shots if he needs to and call it out, which honestly, for the fans, he's getting the fans more on board because we know it to be true.
I'm just gonna. That's the last clip, and then we're gonna call
Truth.
It's in the
Truth
video.
is what he said, though. Truth is one of the biggest things that he
Yes.
said about character in general, and I think that is one of the biggest lines that you should go into with any character development. That it's truthful and is honest to who they are and what they'll do, not based off of what the writer or what anybody else wants to make them. And the way that he described it being, you are the hero of your own journey and of your own insecurities, was a genius. So anyway, go ahead, Dan.
No, it's Matt Risman did confirm Agent Callus was ISB. He was he was an
okay.
incredible character. Of course, turned to the rebellion, so you could follow the same path with Dedra. KG wants a scene with Dedra eating cereal with cereal, and if Callus is in this season, it would be icing on the cake. I will say, I saw a short. Did you guys see that short with Cyril and Dedra or whatever, and they were interviewing for Andor season 2 somewhere? It was on the
What was
internet,
that?
and they said that there are more scenes with him, and potential. He confirmed that he can't say what, but the cereal is not there. It's going to be back.
That's awesome.
So him and the cereal, and I think they said that even that scene where he like dropped it, it was like an accident, and he like picked it up and like looked at it, and they had the cameras and they just zoomed in and they just caught it, and it was like a real just happy accident.
Oh man, I love
goodness.
that. I
It's
love
genius.
that.
But no, if Callus showed up, I'd be freaking out. Let me mute
wait.
that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So the ending of this is where he gets into. Yeah, I don't think he was necessarily calling out Star Wars personally, but the
Wow.
way that he said it was like
don't know.
he's like, a lot of. It's like we've seen the other ones that didn't stick the landing.
Yes.
A lot of people don't stick the landing. Like he kind of caught
He
himself.
kinda did. He's like, oh yeah, I'm on Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say this.
Let's see, because the last part of this interview was like the nuggets that he gave you were just unbelievable. I don't want to play 10 minutes. I just want to play a few minutes.
We're just gonna do a few, and then we are gonna bounce out of
We'll
here.
bounce into the watch
I
along.
grew to love it as it went on. It wasn't a doing. Build in a way that I think I just said.
What was the question?
What was the
I
most
got
fulfilling
involved
part
with
about
this
Andor?
Not knowing what I was doing at all.
I love this.
Once I was in it,
Not necessarily what you want to hear.
and it started to reveal itself what it was going to be, I regretted it terribly, and I was terrified of what I had done in doing that. When COVID happened and I suddenly thought I had an out. I didn't have to do the show. I would be able to get out of it. But then it began to rebuild, and it began to rebuild in a way that I could at least start to take the kind of control over it that I should have had in the beginning.
He's an auteur. He needs the
And
control.
we managed to make a system through the whole COVID, the beginnings of COVID and starting to shoot again, where I found what the right job for me on the show was, which was I didn't have time to direct. And to be able to do everything else that I wanted to do. And
George
over
Lucas.
time,
Very much like a George
my
Lucas.
anxiety about what we were doing
It's a formula.
was just completely eroded by the thrill of getting to make all this stuff with all these cool people and have Disney and Lucasfilm back our play and give us the resources that we needed to do it, and
650 million
and
for
back
both
our-
seasons, apparently.
all of our crazy ideas and all the things that we were going to do. And I mean, I grew to love it as it went on. It wasn't a love at first sight. That's for
Right.
sure. It was really, but that's. I hope you feel from the answers that we've all given that we really, we can learn and you can build, and when you feel like you're going for something that might be worth it, maybe it's about something. Maybe it's
High
really
risk.
worth it.
Yeah.
There we go.
It just,
Ties back to the question of the week.
I mean, what a great way to spend your time on the planet.
Does going to season 2, like, it's different? Like, do you feel like it's senior year? You're more
This is it
confident,
right
you know
here.
Exactly,
Yeah, we want it, but we also feel like, oh my God.
He says one bad word.
But then there's also you do have the pride of what you did before, and you have a system that works. So we carried that forward. Yeah.
All right, let's go to another last question.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, that wasn't it, but that's okay.
No, the listen is more like
it's
we can keep going.
It's in the clip that we have on that video that's currently still popping off.
Yeah,
the clip of him talking about not making the landing.
Right. Yeah. So it's in there. Yeah. Again, definitely worth a watch, worth a listen. There's some great stuff.
And then hearing Bix, she got the tattoo. Somebody said that in the comments.
KG did, yeah.
Hearing Mon Mothma, they were almost all crying at one point during the interview.
Wow.
Mon Mothma, not the guy, but Tony Gilroy was almost in tears. So like the family that has been created. Of course, you hear that with these Star Wars shows, but it's such a high level. Like if you look at the acting world, the people that are in this,
and
are next level.
And to your point, though, I mean, obviously they all enjoy the family element of working on a Star Wars project together, and you've heard that from others. But in this regard, when they were talking about a lot of these actresses and Tony Gilroy was not just the family that they created and the dynamic between all of them, but it was also they were genuinely sad to be done playing these characters.
Right.
And I think that is an even bigger part that a lot of actors and actresses don't talk about necessarily when they work on these Star Wars shows. I mean, heck, you can barely even get Pedro on set sometimes, but it's just crazy to me that they were talking about that, especially with Mon Mothma. She was saying that she was so sad that it was going to be like it was her last time. Like it was like she was going like almost through not withdrawals, but she was like having she had to grieve in some ways because she knew she wouldn't be able to play it. It hadn't even hit her. Bix was the same thing, and they asked like when did the moment hit you when you knew you weren't going to be playing this anymore. It was some fantastic stuff, and that gets me excited. And that also tells us that Tony Gilroy is a master when it comes to writing good characters, and he chose the right people for the project, or they chose the right people for the project.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, Mon Mothma had played in the prequels as well, I believe.
Was it? And in Ahsoka, yeah, it was her, and she was actually in Ahsoka.
Yeah. So anyway, it was very interesting. Very interesting to hear that and how excited they were. And
I just didn't expect that because I know that I've heard Tony Gilroy maybe like I saw him in the first time I actually listened to anything that he said was in that special look, and he was mentioning a few things in that special look video that we reacted to.
Right.
And then all of a sudden like this happened. I didn't know what to expect, but it completely took me by surprise. Obviously, I love Andor But to hear him talk in depth about that and the thoughtfulness that he put behind it, and then all of the actors, it does remind me of like peak Filoni with the Rebels crew.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my goodness, when Dave came in the room, he loves these characters. He knows these characters. We were all in tears. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it hasn't happened before in Star Wars.
Right.
This has happened, but it's rising to that level, you know, and it's like you can't almost create it. It's almost organically happening.
Right.
But they've got the right pieces, and however it worked with Disney Lucasfilm, like they kept their hands off enough. It sounds like from that piece of his talking,
right?
They basically wrote him a check and they're like, "Go do something great," and that's what Star Wars should be.
In some ways, depending on who it is.
But it should be somebody that cares, like Tony Gilroy or like whatever. They should be given the keys and go do something great. And if it's bad, it's your fault. If the fans don't like it, it's your fault. You know what I mean? Instead of constantly meddling as a studio. Like, well, no, we got to meet this criteria, and we got to do this over here, and we need to cut that. No, we're going to fire you now because we don't like the direction. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kathleen or whoever always having their fingers on the
Let the
thing.
person who's doing it own it.
Right.
Let them do it. Yeah, write it and own it. And if you disagree with them, don't hire them.
Yeah, that's I mean, I can see in some ways where you think somebody's going to do a great job, and you're getting into it, and you're putting all this money into it, and then you're like, oh no, this could be an absolute disaster.
Right.
Maybe we need to change course.
Right, but then that's what you should have hired the right guy from the first place.
Yeah, I agree. And have expectations set up, you know, and basically just be like, look, this is what we're looking for. You know, do you think you can deliver on this? We're going to give you so much leeway and structure here and this stuff, but which obviously they didn't do very well with Disney.
Yeah, the
and
sequels is the prime example because, you know, we basically are getting 6 movies with the Andor series or whatever. He said basically it's 6 Star Wars films in 5 years that he's been working on since this thing happened.
Right.
It's crazy. It's more than any other character, and it's more than the sequels time on screen by far. And it's such a higher,
which is crazy.
higher level. They spent just as much money, if not more, on this show. and for it to deliver, it deserves all the praise that it gets. And I hope that it has good numbers when people watch it.
Yeah.
And then critically it gets its due. And then, KK can't get any credit really. And, right off into the sunset.
Yeah. Well, and so I think this one's going to blow up, Andor season 2. I really do, because he also did talk about it and this is we got to get out of here, but last thoughts here, and then we're going to jump on over into the members stream. But he did talk about how, and they all talked about how this was kind of like the senior moment where not senior moment, like I forget, but like
senior
year moment, I guess is what I'm trying to say, where he talked about delivering and the next iteration. And he even kind of talked about how this one's even bigger and better than the first season in a lot of ways, and how massive it is and what they're doing. So that's why it gives me more hope and faith that he's going to deliver like we were talking about. I think he learned a lot from the first season. I think he took the constructive criticism that a lot of fans gave, and I think he is really trying to craft an even better story, a more intriguing one with even more action and getting people really involved with these characters for the second season. Even how they're bringing it out is impressive to me with 3-episode arcs. That has not been done as far as for each one. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to really play to their advantage here. So really, Tony Gilroy, epic. And also, after listening to this, there was the rumors going around that people were wondering if he wouldn't be taking over the direction of Star Wars, that they were leaning towards Tony Gilroy's camp when it comes to the new direction, and because we've heard that Kathleen Kennedy might be stepping down, but they're liking what he's been doing and what he's already done and how he's resonated with the fans in a lot of ways. So that watching this, I'm leaning more towards him in a lot of ways. I think he would be a great guy to put in charge with more of the creative. Now there's a lot to that. But I can understand why the rumors were out there that his camp, basically Tony Gilroy's camp, and what they were creating in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think some hardcore like fans that are still in Disney and Lucasfilm liked his stuff so much that they were like, this could get really popular really quick. So anyway, those are my last thoughts on that. Dan, let's have your last thoughts, and we'll get on out of here.
That's it. Like this is going to be the best thing to come on Disney Plus. So if you don't have a subscription now, you're probably going to want to get it.
It's practically free at this point.
It's
Disney
practically
Plus.
free. They're going to drop the price because after this, Disney Plus is probably closing its doors. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But it's going to be the best thing, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And I feel like Tony is delivering for us fans who have felt jaded and maybe disappointed over many a show.
Yeah.
And so to bring it all home for the fans that, have been kind of slapped in the face with a lot of these characters and whatever, it's refreshing to see someone and a show that actually cares. They got the money they deserve. They weren't cheated on that. You know what I mean? So I don't see how
it's crazy
does,
in some ways that they were able to get away.
Right. I don't see how it fails. And, if it fails in the sense that like it's not watched or whatever, I don't think it's not gonna fail on the critical side, and I think that alone will carry it, and keep us Star Wars fans that are looking for stuff like this that's smarter and works. Keep us happy for a while if we don't get anything quality for a long time after this.
Yeah, well, we're not exactly sure what else is coming after this either. So
yeah. So it's super exciting. Let's do it. Counting down the days. Where are we at? 32 days or 33 days?
Oh, man. Dan's counting down the hours.
Well, we had 40 last week. We did the Noah reference.
Yeah, we did. We did do the Noah reference. That's a good one. What about you, Fact Checker? I know we have. What are your thoughts? Real quick, I know we got to go, but last thoughts here for you, Fact Checker. Are you excited for Andor Season 2?
Yeah, definitely. And just hearing that makes me even more excited. So, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, awesome. Glad you're excited as well.
Short.
No, that's totally fine. Great comments, everybody in the chat there. Thank you, Gonkers, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for watching this. If you're watching this back later, do like, comment, subscribe, and let us know in the comments below what you think. Do you think Tony would be a good way moving forward? Do you like Andor Season 1, Season 2? if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, if you're excited for it, let us know all the things below. And we're going to jump on over to members. If you're not a member yet, join up now. You can get all the free content that's over there. Well, not free because you pay for it, but it's not very much. Anyway, we're going to get on out of here. Don't forget, we're going to be live this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same place, same channel, doing War of the Cosmic Tyrants. It's going to be fun. We'd love to see you over there. We got Talent on Target coming up as well. Get your submissions in. And we're going to be continuing to cover all Andor and Star Wars news as much as possible here on Stay on Target. So from all of us to here at Stay on Target, don't forget to always stay on target, like we don't do half the time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in the after stream.
Yeah.
A is for Andor, right, Dustin?
Yes, you pork liver.
That's a bank dog to you.
That's a bank dog. I'll race you one rondo.
One Ronto burger.
Ronto burger.
And a bank dog on the side.
And a bank dog on the side. Onwards and upwards to Aldani.